Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. I found a new recipe and I want to try it, but I got the cameras on because I don't want to make it a second time just to show you how to make it. I thought, you know what? If it doesn't go well, you'll see that part too. So off we go. So I am halving this recipe because what looked like an enormous amount on this recipe that I saw this particular recipe, it just looked like too much. And I wanted to be able to cook it in my little oven out in the sunroom because even though it's fall, it is extremely hot today. It's up in the 90s and I'm done with the hot afternoons. I don't mind the warm mornings, but the hot afternoons get to me. So we're going to try our best to keep the heat out in the sunroom and not in my kitchen. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of coconut oil, and this is a 2-quart casserole dish, and it has a fitted lid with it, which is kind of what I was looking for, but I was toying around with the rectangular shaped ones, but this one fits in that oven so well, and it has a lid so I can store any leftovers if there are any very easily. All right, in this bowl, we are going to put half pound of pasta. It doesn't matter what kind of pasta. I wouldn't go with spaghetti or something like that. Just ziti or ditali or just any of your noodle type pasta. You can even use elbow macaroni if you want. Dump that in there. Next, we are going to add, and I've got all this chopped up ahead of time, so this will go relatively quickly. I have in this about a cup of cherry tomatoes, quartered. I have about a 1/4 cup of diced green bell pepper. I have about the same amount of fresh mushrooms. These are frozen though. I buy them when they're on sale, put them in the freezer in a zip top bag. Same with the green peppers too. It doesn't matter if they're frozen because you're going to bake this anyway. I have some uncured pepperoni. I'll show you the package to that. This is the brand that I buy only because this one is readily available to me. And you can see here where it says no nitrates or nitrites. So this is what you want to look for. I just saved the package just so I could show that to you. I also have uncured ham in this. I have about a 1/4 cup of that. And then I have probably a little bit more than a 1/4 cup of diced yellow onion. We're going to dump this all in here. Now, if you have all this stuff chopped up ahead of time, this is not going to take that long to get ready. I'm just hoping it all fits in here, honestly. All right, that is all that goes in this particular pan. So that's about how full this is. We'll set this aside. In a different bowl, I have 4 ounces of cream cheese, and it is softened enough where I can kind of break it up and stir it with my spatula. I'm going to put some cottage cheese in there. We're going to go with, I wrote down about a 1/4 cup. So about a 1/4 cup and a little extra. I'm a big fan of cottage cheese. The person that was doing the recipe wasn't really comprehensive on the amounts, so I was just kind of looking at it going, that's about what it looks like to me. I don't know. But I've also changed it up a little bit too, so that probably won't even look anything like theirs. We're going to take 1 egg, add it to the mix. Stir that up well. We're going to be adding some homemade bone broth. I have beef bone broth I'm going to add to this. If you wait and, and we're adding milk to it as well. If you add the cream cheese and stuff after you add your milk, it just kind of floats in a blob. It doesn't mix up very well, so that's why I'm mixing all this together in this order. It's not going to hurt my feelings to get a big blob of cottage cheese or cream cheese in my portion, but I kind of want it to be mixed consistently in there, so we'll do what we can to get that done. Okay, 1 1/4 cup of bone broth in this cup, and then I'm going to add milk to this and add that to it as well. Okay, just whole milk. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you're not into the heat of red pepper flakes, by all means, you don't have to put that in there. I don't necessarily think it's going to add a lot of heat to it. I might surprise myself, though. About a half teaspoon of salt. I have a feeling we're going to need a little bit more salt in this, but I could be wrong, since we have pepperoni, which is a little salty, and ham is salty as well. And I'm going to put in there a teaspoon of oregano. That's not something the original recipe called for, but it sounds like it needs it to me. Okay, I'm also going to take some green onions that I cut out in the yard. This is probably about as many green onions. Whoa, get back here, dude. About as many green onions as would come on, maybe two green onion, just the green part. That's hard to describe to somebody. You tell them you need green onions, and then you say only the green part, which sounds really like you're repeating yourself, but you're really not, because there's a green part and a white part. But we don't want the white part in there. Okay, this is pretty liquidy. Let me make sure I got everything in here that I have written down. Cottage cheese, cream cheese, egg broth, milk, red pepper flakes, salt, green onion, and oregano. And we're going to pour it over this. Now I have my little oven out there in the sunroom preheating to 350 degrees. This is going to cook for 40 minutes, and then we're going to take it out and add one last ingredient. Pop it back in there to heat up a bit, and then it'll be done. So while this is cooking on its first 40 minutes, I'm going to go walk the dogs. As hot as it is out there, I'm going to walk the dogs. Oh good, this didn't fill it up as much as I thought it would. When you put pasta in a bowl, it looks like it's so full, but you forget there's so many air pockets in there. Pasta isn't that solid on all parts of it, so it takes up a lot more room than what you think it's going to have. Okay. It smells good already, I do know that. All right, I'm going to put a piece of parchment on there that I just had in the drawer down there. I'm going to put a lid on it. That's going to seal that in. We're going to go put this in the oven, cook this for 40 minutes. When we come back, I'll show you what we're going to add to it next. I don't know if this is done or not. Okay, I was afraid the pasta wouldn't be done. Looks done. It looks a little watery to me, but possibly the longer it sits, the maybe the more liquid will be soaked up in it. So for right now, it doesn't look very thick. So that's my assessment at this point. But it smells fabulous. I mean, it smells like a really good supreme pizza. All right, we're going to top this with mozzarella. I shredded 8 ounces of mozzarella. This is not the whole milk mozzarella. It's just regular mozzarella, but not the pre-shredded kind. Just take my word for it. Just don't even think about it. I just made a salad a while ago. We're going to have that with this. And I made garlic toast with some homemade Italian seasoning on the top of it, and it's so good. That by itself would be a meal to me, but we'll go ahead and eat something, you know, with some vegetables in it. Okay, we'll be right back, and I'll show you what this looks like when it comes out of the oven. We're going to just bake it until it gets melty and browned on the top. Okay, I have to be honest, this looks like something that I would make when I was in college because there was no such thing as too much cheese, but this looks like it's kind of suffocating. It's not going to be bad, but I think looking forward and making this again, I would probably mix some of the cheese into it after it bakes and then put some on the top. So it'd be cheesy in the middle, cheesy on the top, and it would get browned a little bit better instead of just staying white. But this is our experiment pasta dish. We'll call this one-pan pizza pasta. So it smells like pizza. It does not look like pizza, but it smells just like pizza. And I hope you give it a try too. The recipe is in the description. Thanks for watching. And we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. We really do. See ya.